Got agree over here.
Yes. As we said, agree, but with explanation. So if you're referring to it as kinetic energy, then when all their kinetic energy is transferred out, like transferred during friction, then yes, the object stops.
But used up, we didn't like that phrase.
We didn't like used up.
Because we use energy, I mean, we kind of...
And the force isn't used up, it's the energy from the force that's transferred to the object that's moving in the first place.
Sometimes even physicists have a hard time with the word force, exactly what it is. Okay? We have a defined statement about it, but is it used up actually? Although I got to tell you, at the end of a run, sometimes my force is used up. And the force is not with me at that point. Okay? So let's say then forces aren't really used up, are they? Energy might be, and things like that.
Transferred around, but not used up.
Very good. Okay?
And I mean, and another thing to keep in mind. I mean, one of the forces that you have in your head is gravity, and gravity isn't ever used up. But there are forces that turn on and off. When you can push on something and then stop pushing on it. So forces can begin and end. But again, you have to be careful about what that means in terms of motion. The other thing about this question that I don't like is it says when their force is used up, which I'm not even sure what that means. So again, part of this is, you all know this better than I. There's lots of language like this in textbooks, and it's the more deeply and that you understand the stuff, the more comfortable you get with it, you can get around. It'll help you navigate these pitfalls, because there are a lot. I mean, even on this page, there's a lot of them.
And Mike, can I just say something? I'm not trying to defend Paige Keeley's work,
Yep.
but what she was trying to do was to give you what kids might say.
Right. Yep.
So
Right.
these are explanations, because you can see in the beginning, which we kind of ignored, is that these are Mrs. Lee's students, and they share their ideas. So these are from perspective. This is that she's taken research about kids' ideas about force and motion and transferred them to this, so that other students can have a conversation as well as teachers can have a conversation.
We've had a conversation on these already, haven't
Oh,
we?
exactly.
And that's a good thing. That's kind of the point of that, too.
I'm not trying to defend her
No,
work, but
your point's well taken, and in some ways you're
I think
absolutely
that's the
right.
reason for it.
I think that is the reason for it, and that's why we chose this. And there's actually a lot of good things in this book. But I think that's a really good point. Is that part of the reason for the ambiguity of these questions is for you to work out.
Let's look at H and I, because that kind of follows that a little bit. And I see we have agree and disagree up here. Bicameral answer there. H and I. H and I. Okay, we got to agree and disagree. This is sort of what Linda was talking about too. It's a language thing, isn't it?
and this is the way that you might hear your students respond to questions that you might pose in the classroom, and by having these conversations with adults, you know how to respond to the way they respond. Does that make sense? Because you may say, "Why, that's correct," but really, in fact, when you dig a little deeper, it's not. So that's what this is all about.
Okay. Now, one piece of stuff here too. In H, they say the stronger the force, the faster an object moves. What does that mean? What does fast mean? What is speed? Velocity. What's velocity? We got the words, don't we? But what does it mean? What do you mean it goes?
Moves and the force moves and
Hold on. Let's be careful. So what speed?
Changing their position relative to another object over a given amount of time.
Tell you what, real quickly, erase part of your board. I want you to write as a group in one sentence what speed is. And then I want you to write in one sentence what acceleration is.
Speed is something you gotta